Was? Ah, die Kreas. Ja, das sind...
It's a little bit risky to follow Susanne in the mountains, but don't be afraid, she will survive.
And so will you, because I know what you can do.
Ich habe nicht gerade ausgeschossen.
In end of June, yeah, it's gonna probably snow up here. It's only about 5 degrees, 6 degrees here now. Yeah. And in the night it will get down to 2 to 0 and freezing rain and snow, so we will see how we get comfortable in that. Oh yes. Und jetzt sofort uns Feuer machen.
Perfekt, Susanne, super.
Yep, so since yesterday afternoon, actually since yesterday morning, or even before, we have had incessant heavy rain. But that doesn't stop us from going out. I have the Polish poncho here, a wide-brimmed cotton hat, and underneath, Loden anorak, merino base layer, and in my dry bag, which is on my back as a backpack and which is underneath the poncho, I have a hammock, a synthetic sleeping bag that's very warm, and tarp. So really, I can go anywhere and be practical in this weather. But man, 2 degrees C, 0 degrees C, 5 degrees C, rain, sleet. Yeah, difficult terrain. You know, difficult weather. And so, but this is a combination that really works. Wool and heavy canvas. And you think, yeah, it's heavy. It's not that heavy really. And it just makes every difference because you can use this thing as part of your shelter, or as a ground sheet or whatever. So, and again, it's like it doesn't matter if you sit down on it in the mud, you have plenty of ventilation options. It's really worth a consider. Now I'm going in for tea. Bye! So I have arrived indoors, but I thought I might show you a little bit about how this whole thing works. There is a lot of gear that goes in a very organized way into not a lot of storage. So let's start with, this is basically gear for a really atrocious weather, full-time hard rain, 2 to 3 degrees C, wet all the way through, no way of staying dry, difficult terrain. So it all starts with a base layer. This is merino, and I actually have a second slightly heavier merino overshirt, and then the Loden anorak. And these pants, stretchy, very important, very fast drying, absolutely wind tight, not waterproof, but certainly water resistant and drying very, very quickly. And these ones are impregnated with silicone as well, same ones as I had in my Carvendal adventure. And then the great thing is this poncho, this Polish poncho, together with the hat. So it has this really pretty amazing hood feature. It's just a big, messy, pointy hood like this, great big cowl. And if you wear your hat inside of that, it makes for perfect weather protection. You wear it over your backpack so that you have the poncho basically on the brim of your hat and on your backpack. And if you're wearing the Loden anorak underneath, you can roll up this hood, and then you don't get any nasty drippies. And then of course you can use this thing as a half shelter, you can use it as a bivy bag, you can use it as a ground mat. If you're sleeping in a hammock, you can use it to protect the far end of your tarp. So it's heavy, yes, but absolutely worth it. You can tie up the bottom here with this bit of string so that it doesn't get in your way when you're walking in the mountains. This one's a Polish infantry poncho, and it really is very good. So then actually it's just basically the same as before. It's the belt pouch with the usual clean canteen, first aid kit, Andrew Jordan caracal, and my little utilities pouch, inside of which we always have the Victorinox and some keys, a little bit of cordage, bug dope, cooksa, all that stuff. Then we have the second unit, which is the eating unit. So we have fire making stuff in there, and a pot, and some tea and coffee, and some spackle, and some protein powder to make that tea amazing, and some oil here. And then we have some sausage for the fire, dried sausage and cheese, and the tiny hobo, which fits right in here together with the lid, so that you have the hot. You can basically get by with just the uncooked food. I have usually a protein bar in here as well, but I ate that for breakfast. So you can get away with just uncooked food. The next thing is a very nutritious hot drink. Also got some chia seed here, important for the hot drink. And then from there you have the ability, if you can get a fire, then you can have things that are cooked. So, and then we have the rest is basically bedroll. Just a bit more bedroll than last time, but essentially it's just a sleeping bag. Ultra Lamina 15, which is just epic. It does not care whether it gets wet. Comfort limit -9, and it just is tiny. Bunch of cordage, little hex tarp, and a hammock. Companion knife, little saw. And then I have my 2-bag system. So this is the dry bag with the night stuff in it, spare socks, backup battery, satellite communicator, warmth, so hat and a warm neck thing. And then I have the sort of other bag which has got maybe fire lighters in it, my candle lantern, some whatever else is there, essentially, whatever is not fitting in here. So we have no loose things whatsoever in the backpack. So this and this would also come in there, and so the backpack is just got 1, 2, 3, 4 packages plus those 2 packages, and if I have that pack with me, then the cooking package goes in there as well. If I don't have that pack with me, it goes on that part of the belt. So that is it, and I shall then now pack everything back in again, just so you can see how compact it really is. The whole everything that's going in the bag. So sleeping bag, much more rope than I need, tarp, cook pouch, hammock, my 2 dry bag system, and my anorak. And the rest is just on the belt pouch. So here we go. Let's put it all in the bag and see how big that feels and how comfortable that is. So you can see how small that is if you compare it to my gloves. It really is tiny. And you can of course take the tarp out when it's very wet and attach it to the sides. This thing has awesome daisy loops everywhere. These are structural. These are very strong. So you can tie onto them. The thing floats, of course, and it makes a very good bolster. You can sit on it, and of course if you smash into anything, it makes it for a great crash pad. So that's it. No more needed than that, and the poncho and the belt pack, and we're good. The key to this whole game are these socks. They're called sealskins, and they are lined with merino, but they have a neoprene, or certainly a waterproof membrane, which means that your feet will stay dry. And that means that you can wear very lightweight shoes, which, you know, are pretty nice to wear. And then they can get, so it can happen that it gets a little bit damp inside, especially if it's been very wet all day. So what you do is in the evening, when you go to sleep, you put your nice warm woolly socks on for sleeping, and then the next morning you can just put the sealskins directly over these, and the whole thing will dry out just from walking. So if you were going for a long distance, you might have 2 of these pairs of warm socks, so that you always have one cycling and one drying. But it's just an incredibly comfortable system. It keeps your feet nice and warm and dry, and it avoids you having to schlep really heavy boots around with you, because that's not nice.